Since you're here, I'm guessing that maybe something happened, or maybe I should plug you in. I just wanted to say something briefly about truth. The thing with truth is, it's hard to pin down sometimes. Sometimes there is more than one version of the truth. And actually, it seems like always there's more than one version of the truth. Sometimes people are mistaken, and sometimes they learn that they were factually mistaken. Sometimes people are just honestly trying to the best of their abilities, or maybe they make this judgment in one context, but then in another context they would make a different judgment of the facts. The truth, false and truth, is a lot more fluid in the human mind than a lot of us give it credit for. It's still important to understand maybe there's something that we're not realizing from their point of view. Maybe they are just blowing something out of context to enforce their own version of reality, but maybe they actually do have a valid version of reality that is different from your own. Sometimes two perspectives are equally valid. Not always, but sometimes. And if you just sort of generalize this concept of twisting the truth, of twisting facts, if you generalize that and apply that to every situation, then what you end up doing is trivializing and dismissing everybody's viewpoint but your own. And again, some things are not factual, and sometimes there is more than one subjective reality. But I think that the biggest danger is whenever you only do believe in one truth, subjective or objective or whatever, whenever you do believe that there's only one version of reality, I think that you're more vulnerable to falling into these rapid polarizations where you have two competing ideologies that are totally incompatible. And at that point, I think that you do fall more at risk into this pit of conformity. There should only be one version of it. I think that that gets us into a little bit of trouble also, because sometimes that one set of the truth ends up being wrong, or maybe it's right in some context and wrong in another. If everyone agrees factually that the world is flat, and whenever somebody comes around and says the world is round, and the reaction is burn them, that's scary. At some point, people have to be able to challenge the objective truths that we're holding. Even like Newton's laws of gravity, that was rock solid. To deviate that into general relativity is that's weird. It turns out that they're just a very, very strong model for their own use cases, but they don't explain everything. And in different circumstances, you have different models to apply, and the factual nature of even laws of physics becomes a little bit blurry. But really, it's just something about human nature. All of us, me included, you included, there's this there's this sense of reality that we all hold, and we tend to put so much weight on how we see it. That's why you get things like confirmation bias and, just viciously consuming any information you can get about a question from the internet just to feed your own point of view, and anything that contradicts it you just throw it into the trash pile, and everything that you do agree you just take it in and say yes, this is how it is. And what that has snowballed, like with the technology that we've developed, that has snowballed into this thing where as long as you can come up with a coherent, like a system of reality where like it all fits together nicely, you can cut out whatever facts are inconvenient. You can do what you want with it, man. I mean, have at it. You can make up conspiracies and make up facts and make up opinions and make up interpretations, and as long as you say it like you mean it, and the people get real like real irritable and aggressive as they're saying these rhetorics, these talking points, these lines of, their version of reality. That really what they're doing is evangelizing their version of reality. They want other people to adopt their version of reality to help justify their own, and to get the power in numbers, the power in groupthink that comes with lots of people taking on your version of reality. And whenever you build a group and lobby together and build numbers to enforce your version of reality, you end up with really crazy conflicts that should never happen. I think a lot of times both sides of an issue are not correct. Sometimes both are correct, sometimes both are not correct. Sometimes just one is correct and the other is not. And sometimes it's all of the above. And how is that even possible? Well, the truth is elusive. And as much as we chase it, the closer we get, the more it recedes away from us. You never quite grasp it. It's always changing. The second it takes form, it's already adapting in response. It's mutating. Sometimes things are as simple as just right and wrong, true or false, correct or incorrect, and a lot of times it's a shade of gray, but sometimes it can even take all the colors of the rainbow. I think meeting people from other cultures or even visiting other cultures can go a long way in broadening our views and making us more open to the actual truth, the truth that really does encompass all things. Sometimes, though, you can't travel, but whether it's across the world or just down the street, there's always something new to see, or maybe even just a new way to look at something old. I really do believe that. What I want people to do is also acknowledge the fact that other people can have a different truth. And people do have the right to be wrong. You don't have to prove everyone wrong and bend people to your way of understanding. Adopting a set of truth is a very different concept than understanding a truth. Both of those truths can coexist. And that's something that I really think that people should reflect on. This video is not going to do it justice. This is just me asking people to consider these multiple paths in front of them and just appreciate them, even platonically, for the beauty of understanding the idea, even if there's no commitment. It really can be just as dangerous to have only one version of reality as to have many versions of reality. And I think the trick is to acknowledge other people's truths and acknowledge that there's a lot that we don't understand. Just my thinking on a lot of these issues is totally non-linear, but all of the issues I think that really require us to break the boundaries of who we are and to to become better people. I think that you can't really do it in a systematic fashion, in a linear fashion. It's not like a sequence of events. If you do this, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and on step 5, you did it. Woohoo. I think it's a lot more messy in real life. Well, that was confusing. And if you'd like to continue confusing yourself, you can look at some of these, some of these other, maybe some thoughts come out of what I'm saying, but I don't think you're quite there yet, because I'm not either, so...